Call this February 17th meeting of the Paducah Planning and Zoning Commission to order, and I would ask all of you to stand and recite with us the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Denberry, Morrison,
Here.
Schramke,
Here.
Shadle,
Here.
Wade,
Here.
Chairperson Crecilius.
Here. Ms. Schramke, I believe you have the minutes motion. Please.
I move that the reading of the minutes for January 6, 2014 be waived and that the minutes of said meeting as prepared by the Secretary be approved as written. I move also to amend these minutes to indicate that Ms. Crecilius was the chairperson of the meeting.
Second.
Does that need to be two separate motions, or could it all be together? Okay. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Yes, ma'am. Schramke,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Morrison,
Aye.
Chairperson Crecilius.
Aye. Mr. Morrison, I believe you have our first order of business.
Yes, ma'am. I move that a resolution entitled, "A Resolution Constituting the Final Report of the Paducah Planning Commission on the Proposed Closing of a Portion of an Alley between 2602 and 2614 Bridge Street and 853 Bethel Street be adopted."
Ms. Schramke? Questions? I guess for clarification, the sanitary sewer easement is, the sewer's already there, I'm assuming.
That's correct. There is a manhole located in the center of the alley, and we're closing the right-of-way, but we're dedicating an easement to allow continued access and service and maintenance of that sanitary line.
Then I'm also assuming that the portion of land that's to be closed will be divided equally between the property owners on either side.
That is correct. The Fraternal Order of Eagles owns on both sides of it, with the exception of a 12-foot by 7.5-foot little block that would be dedicated to Mr. Ingram.
That's D, correct?
That's track D. That is correct. I have the original before me, and we were fortunate to have all of the utility companies sign the original, so I have a fully executed copy here for me today. So all the utility companies have had the opportunity to review this, as well as engineering and public works.
And just for my own clarification, what do we actually do? Do we block off both ends of this? Is there some mechanism to keep traffic from going through there?
That, I guess, will be a matter of, for engineering. The Fraternal Order of Eagles plans to develop across it.
I got that. I just wondered.
And so I guess the entrance will be removed as part of their new construction. In the meantime, I don't know how you prevent the traffic. It will be private property at that point. It will no longer, in essence, it will no longer be a city issue.
No longer any city maintenance of that.
That's right. If someone wants to put a fence across it, or if they want to put a barricade across it, it will be private property at that point, so they can control access across it however they see fit.
It becomes, it's just like any other parcel of Eagles property. I mean, it becomes their property, and it's up to them how they want to block it. They may want to leave a driveway open to maybe to service the shelters or whatever, but they can also block it off. It's their property, except the portion that's Mr. Ingram's, and of course he will have that portion for use however he chooses.
And I'll add a little bit further to that. As part of the site development process that will come at a later point, they will be submitting a site development plan to the Paducah Planning Office as well as the Engineer's Office. As part of the Engineering Public Works review, they review entrances, both existing and proposed. If that access point is not requested to be utilized quite often, as was mentioned, the Engineering Public Works Office will request that that entrance be closed.
Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Yes, ma'am. Morrison,
Aye.
Schramke, Shadle,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Chairperson Crecilius.
Aye. Mr. Shadle, I believe you have the next.
Yes. I move that a resolution titled, "A Resolution Constituting the Final Report of the Paducah Planning Commission on Proposed Closing of Ridgewood Street between Topeka Avenue and Olympia Avenue" be adopted.
Second by Ms. Schramke.
On your plats, you'll see the hatched area. That is an area of right-of-way that was dedicated in the 60s for Ridgewood Street. It was to be a through street. You can see you have Ridgewood on the left, unimproved, and then you go through here through the hatched area and you have Ridgewood on the right. That section in the middle was never built, and it's been that way for about 50 years now. And this area is developing, and the property is desired to be utilized for other purposes. And so this has several people, the Haydens, the Hagans, the Stubers, the Higdons, all have agreed. This is not adverse in any way. Everyone has signed this original that I have before me, as well as all the utility companies as well. There were no public utilities in this area at all. And so it's pretty cut and dry. There will be 5 parcels that will be distributed to the adjoining property owners.
Any questions? Yes, sir. Would you like to come up?
I'm not familiar with all this.
Please come to this.
Come right on up here to the microphone.
Sure.
But I'm a property owner adjacent to what we're talking about.
Your name, sir?
And I was just, I was wanting to ask how the deed works. Adjacent property owners get half of the right of way, is that correct?
They do.
Which owner are you?
I'm Hayden. I'm Charles Hayden.
Okay, you're Charles Hayden. There's a plat here that we filed, and it shows a tract E, which means that you will get a deed to the center of the right-of-way adjacent to your property. From each boundary line, you'll go about one end about 26.83 feet into the road right-of-way, and at the other end, looks like the west end, you'll go 27.97 feet, and looks like there are pins there, and there will be the straight line between those two pins. If you want to look at our plat there,
I guess I'm looking at what
okay, you can see that E where
Tract E.
E is. That's the property. You will get a deed from the city to that property. It will be another tract. So when you sell your lot, you'll need to make sure that both deeds are, in the transaction to someone else.
Transferred.
So the city will deed me a separate deed for this particular 26, whatever foot.
You'll get a deed. The Higdons will get a deed. The Hagans will get a deed, and it's all according to this plat.
Now, what about the taxes on something like this? Now, who determines what? I'm not going to get much out of this because there is a water line running parallel.
It's shown right here. Yep.
Supposedly on my side, on my property, but when I bought the property 14 years ago, I didn't get anything about the water line being there. It's kind of news to me, but anyway, I don't have an easement to that water line. And I was wondering about that one thing. And the other thing is the tax consequences.
they may assess you the value of that property, which I don't know how they do that. The
Who does that?
Property Valuation Assessor's Office. They handle that assessment. And the water line was probably put in, and there may be an old water line easement, or there just may be the water line there. And, but, you know, they have the right to lay the water lines back when they laid them, with a lot of times without easements.
Well, I don't have any paperwork on it. I tried to get a hold of somebody at the water office and never was able to do it. See if, they had something on file. It wasn't that lucky. But,
Yeah. You didn't find an old
Did
easement?
not find anything. We did contact Darren Rankin at Paducah Waterworks. He was aware of that the line was there. Been there a long time, probably installed to service that subdivision when it was built in the 50s and 60s. And, you know, Mr. Key, you can certainly advise about the ways to gain an easement without a legally recorded easement through prescription and adverse possession. So the fact that it's been there as long as it is, it may very well have a legal right to be there.
well, there's a water hydrant out close to Topeka. And then this water line, someone's been out there surveying, and they got red flags running parallel to section E here that you see. Somebody has marked that water line.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah, that was us.
I was going to say, they would have
You did
done
that,
that.
didn't
And
you?
we surveyed it to ensure that it was, because if it was within this right-of-way, then we were going to have to dedicate an easement.
Right.
But it was not within the right-of-way, it's on the private property, it's on your private property, and so.
How can I tell by looking at this, how far that would be from,
Well, that is field surveyed, that's the actual location of the water
I
line.
understand, but
And if
how,
I had a scale, I could tell you that, I don't have one in my pocket. Yeah, I could.
I mean, just a guess at how far would you, I mean, can you tell by looking at this?
Well,
Is
it's
it
the
to
entire
scale?
length of your, yes, this is to scale. Let's see here. 1 inch equals 30 feet. I'm going to say it's about 1/8 of an inch. So 5 feet maybe? Horseshoes and hanger needs kind of,
And we could certainly provide you with a copy of this plat. It'll be
Well,
recorded
it will
eventually.
be
That was
public
gonna be
record,
my
that's
next
correct.
question.
Absolutely.
One of these plans, I guess.
In the planning office, tomorrow if you'd like, sir, which is right across the hallway, I will make a copy of this plat for you and provide it, and I also have a scale there, so we'll be able to find out exactly.
Very well, we're looking at here.
Yes, sir?
Right. One other thing, Thompson Heights subdivision is in a plat at the courthouse, and they may have easements along each property line, or they may not. They may have a separate set of subdivision restrictions that are recorded for Thompson Heights, and it's not shown on the plat, but it may have a easement restriction in the subdivision restrictions where it says 5 feet is reserved along each property line for installation and maintenance of public utilities. I can't tell you that, but I mean, that could be also.
I don't stay in the game much of this because you can't do anything on top of the water line.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be right parallel to this.
Right.
Section A, so it's gonna be dead in the water if we do everything with it, other than just pay taxes on it and mow it. I guess, you know. So one reason I was asking about the tax consequences, it's not gonna be worth very little to me, other than just like an elbow ring or something.
Have you called the PVA office?
Huh?
Have you called the PVA office,
did.
inquired about it?
I did, and she said she'd work with them.
Sure.
And,
Okay.
And she said it wouldn't be much, or some people not much, and my much might be different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that was one concern of mine. And, never been through this before, so I don't know all the details.
But the plus for you is there won't be traffic going through there, which at some point in time, and that could, it could create traffic if they left the street open and somebody decided to go in and,
I'm amazed that there was ever a right-of-way Z like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It would have had to have stop signs if it was put in.
Stuber's house is, I thought they were coming tonight, actually, I'm kind of a long ranger here. They told me they were going to come.
They may be watching you on television.
Maybe. It's not being televised. Oh,
It is.
oh, it is.
It is.
But anyway, I guess that's That's all I have to say about it.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here.
And you think this is like, how much did you say that from that water line to that boundary line?
I'm guessing about 5 feet. That's my educated guess. With a scale, we could tell you very accurately. By the time I get to my office in the morning, I could tell you exactly.
You want to send that to me tomorrow?
Certainly. Yep.
And then I'll have the exact dimensions. He will send that to me tomorrow morning. So when you come in tomorrow, I'll have those exact dimensions for you.
Okay, you're right across.
Yes, sir, in the planning office directly across the,
We had
Okay.
Paducah Water mark the water line, and we field surveyed it, so I know exactly where it is, and we can give you that information.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Call the roll, please.
yes, ma'am. Shadle?
Aye.
Wade?
Aye.
Morrison?
Aye.
Shramky? Chairperson Crecilius?
Aye. Okay, Mr. Wade,
Thank you, sir.
please.
Madam Chairperson, I move that this commission receive and file the application of the McCracken County Public Library for approval of the site plan for a canopy located in the A1 Civic Center zone.
Second.
Second by Morrison.
Yes, ma'am.
I noticed on your staff notes that you referred to the canopy that they're requesting, but you also referred to some stipulation about the length of handicap parking and the width of handicap. Is that there is a violation now?
The plan that they actually produced for Planning Commission showed that the spaces were not sized correctly. So when they resubmit the actual site development plan to us, they will correct those dimensions and bring it in compliance with the Paducah zoning regulations. And that's a 24-foot length that's required. And this is in the A1 zone. Typically, downtown site development or new construction is not required for Planning Commission approval. But in the A1 zone, it's a little bit different, and generally that's an area that surrounds City Hall, the post office, the library, McCracken County Courthouse. And the purpose of that is just to bring a little bit of heightened scrutiny to it, to make sure that the new development or additions actually fit in with the character of the Civic Center zone. So in the future, as in past, you will see these types of things come up once in a while.
I wasn't completely clear on where the securing posts are for this particular canopy. I'm assuming they're on either end here of the
Yeah.
drive-through. Is that correct?
It will attach basically over the rear door and it will come out 35 feet towards the curb and gutter section. And on the exterior of that is where the supporting structure will be. It will also have a stair-stepped appearance as it comes out, as we have a little bit of slope that goes down.
Okay. Will it be a flat roof?
No, it will not. It will actually have a stair step. And on the second page, you'll actually see a cross-section of it. It's on the right-hand side.
I see.
You actually see how it describes the supporting structure.
But the top is flat, right? It's not
Generally flat. I'm not sure the exact. It may have a slight.
some slope, just so the
slight
water's
slope.
coming off of it.
Correct. But generally flat, yes. And this is being done for weather protection for the patrons for drop-off. Who seconded that motion by chance?
It was me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dan.
Any other questions? No? Call the roll, please.
Yes, ma'am. Wade,
Aye.
Morrison,
Aye.
Shramky,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Chairperson Crecilius.
Aye. Mr. Shadle, you have the final
Yes.
business, please.
I move that this commission receive and file the application of the City of Paducah for proposed re-subdivision of property located at 1615 and 1617 Martin Luther King Drive. I further move that the requested approval be given in compliance with all applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second?
Second by Wade and Shramky.
Two 25-foot lots owned by the city under the name of Urban Renewal, abolishing the interior lot line, creating one 50-foot lot.
Were these left over from another subdivision, or were they just 25-foot lots? just-
That I
just-
cannot speak to. The,
Probably old shotguns.
I think they were,
That's
yes,
what
they
I,
were old.
yeah, I wondered about that. If-
Shotgun.
Fairly
Shotgun.
common
Common
back in the
party.
day.
Yeah, I know. But now, 50-foot lot is
Pretty typical in Fountain Avenue.
typical, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And-
small, but it's pretty typical.
We've constructed, I believe, approximately 27 or so homes in the last few years in the Fountain Avenue neighborhood. What we're doing here is preparing these two lots for some new construction, hopefully here in the near future. So,
Does anyone have any questions? Call the roll, please.
yes, ma'am. Shadle,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Morrison,
Aye.
Shramky, Chairperson Crecilius.
Aye. Is there any more business to come before the commission? Thank you. We're adjourned.